So the topic was enlightenment. Enlightenment is actually a very important topic. हर साल एक सवाल तो आता ही है. Not only that, understand one thing, in UPSC syllabus they have not specially mentioned intellectual history. In case of ancient, medieval, modern, they do not ask us thinkers. It is only and only in world history the thinkers are involved explicitly. Rousseau hai, Kant hai, Marx hai, and some thinkers implicitly sometimes. So intellectual history is very important in world history, more than it is important in other parts of our syllabus. And enlightenment forms a core part of intellectual history. That is my first thing. And secondly, therefore, it becomes a little bit theoretical in approach. And theory समझना लिखना, it is little different than history. तो ये टॉपिक कईयों को थोड़ा सा मुश्किल जाता है, especially the part Kant and Rousseau. अब सीधी बात है ना, if I ask you to study Rousseau without telling you to study the other two thinkers who came before him, Locke and Hobbes, आप तो मतलब बिना सर पैर के काम कर रहे हो, होगा ही नहीं. If I ask you to study Marx without telling him who is Hegel, बिना सर पाव के आप काम कर रहे हो. If I ask you to study Kant without telling you the whole debate of empiricism versus rationalism that developed for over 2 centuries, बेकन ने कहा, स्पेंसर ने क्या हुआ, सब चीजें, तो विल बी लाइक क्या बात, कांट है कौन, उसने इतना सिंपल डिफरेंस मैं भी लिखता, उसमें क्या बड़ी बात है. तो ये होता है बिकॉज थोड़ा सा कॉन्टेक्सचुअल डेवलपमेंट अंडरस्टैंडिंग का होना चाहिए. वो सिलेबस में मेंशन एक्सप्लिसिटली नहीं है, बट करना पड़ता है. नॉनदलेस, लुक एट द क्वेश्चंस फर्स्ट. आई हैव डिवाइडेड द क्वेश्चंस इनटू, यू विल हैव द हैंडआउट अपलोड हो जाएगा, डिफरेंट सेगमेंट्स, नॉट एज पर सिलेबस बट एज पर माय कैटेगराइजेशन. Some of the questions are on meaning, nature, ideas, and causes. सब muddled है. One question was, the Enlightenment represented alternative approaches to modernity, alternative habits of mind and heart, of conscience and sensibility. दिखने में बड़ा मुश्किल है, कुछ नहीं. In different parts of life, उसमें क्या अलग था बताओ. Compared to the previous era, basic ideas बताने. He, Voltaire, was living in the age of enlightenment. The age itself was not enlightened. ये क्वेश्चन कई लोग मिसइंटरप्रेट करते हैं. The question, the statement is of Immanuel Kant from his that famous pamphlet or essay, What is Enlightenment? उसमें आता है. When you read the statement, it looks as if he is talking about Voltaire. He is not. इस पूरे क्वेश्चन का आंसर you can write a very good answer without even referring to Voltaire. Voltaire is just example. आप कल उसके जगह किसी और को डाल दो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है. मॉन्टेस्क्यू डाल दो, डिडेरॉ डाल दो, डेलेमट डाल दो, इट डजंट मेक एनी डिफरेंस. क्वेश्चन इज, देयर आर सम थिंकर्स हु आर वेरी प्रोग्रेस्ड, बट द सोसाइटी, द स्ट्रक्चर्स, द इंस्टीट्यूशंस आर नॉट एट दैट लेवल. बस इतना ही लिखना है. तो वॉल्टेयर इज जस्ट एन एग्जाम्पल हियर. एक्सप्लेन द मेजर आइडियाज ऑफ एनलाइटनमेंट, डिस्कस द कंट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ रूसो इन. बहुत सिंपल क्वेश्चन है, कुछ है नहीं. What was enlightened about the age of enlightenment? Again, what is the idea? Batao. The two questions that came on direct connection between scientific revolution. One was the principles of enlightenment were in some ways a continuation of the discoveries and theories of scientific revolution. Critically examine. Critically examine. Today's question that we have is not even of that level. हम कर लेंगे वैसे थोड़ी देर में, but it is a simple question. The second question is, enlightenment was not confined to scientific revolution alone, but humanism and ideas of progress too were its inseparable constituents. Examine. तो not only this but also this and that. यही तो होगा एग्जामिनेशन क्रिटिकल आपका. तो बस सवाल ये पहले अगर पूछ लेते, बाद में पूछ लेते, आपका आंसर इसने खुद दिया हुआ है. You have to learn to use PYQs. Then 2 questions on enlightenment despotism. Quite simple questions. The despotic rulers of Europe were influenced by the philosophy of enlightenment and began to follow a benevolent policy towards their subjects. Critically examine. So was it really benevolent? Were they really benevolent or not? Or what was their ulterior motive? And even if they did not have ulterior motive, were they effective? And even if they were effective, was it useful in the long term? Top down change काम नहीं करता. And a person from top would do the changes only insofar as it doesn't harm his own position. ये दोनों लिमिटेशन नॉर्मल चीज है यार. Enlightened despots were not necessarily politically liberal. So they may have reforms in economic, social, cultural, education, legal, everything, but not in politics. क्यों? Because they are despotic. They are rather using all the reforms in order to concentrate more power in their own hand. उनका अंतस्थ हेतु अल्टीमेट मोटिव कुछ और ही है. Legitimize and increase their power, both. They want to create new power bases by removing other people. So both legitimization and centralization, both. So they don't go for that, na. They don't do that. Take for example the abolition of serfdom. Initially they thought कि भाई I want to become absolute monarch. For that purpose I want to eradicate other power people with power who can oppose me in future. मुझे कौन अपोज कर सकता है? Feudal lords. तो उनको जितना वीकन करूँ उतना मैं पावरफुल. बट हाउ डू आई वीकन feudal lords? तो उनके नीचे जो है उनका पावर बेस में हटा दूं. I will go for serfdom abolition. So it looks as if it is very progressive. It is very progressive, but it has also other motive कि भाई इनके पर काटूं मैं ताकि सत्ता मेरी बढ़े. So that is for centralization of power. So then we have Rousseau and Kant. I will not deal with them today क्योंकि we'll have a question on them in our examination, in the month-end examination, either Rousseau or on Kant. तो आज तो मुझे बस पहला वाला पार्ट कवर करना था. So that is the point.